Wands at the ready because we are just over a week away from being able to step into the world of Harry Potter with Hogwarts Legacy. And in this video, I'll be sharing 5 things you need to know before you play Hogwarts Legacy, so let's talk about it.
Shall we begin?
What's going on, guys? Steven with Level Up MMO. In this video, we'll be breaking down some of the points that I think you should be aware of before you end up purchasing or playing Hogwarts Legacy for the first time. With that being said, if you like MMO content, RPG content, Hogwarts Legacy content even, then make sure you subscribe to the channel and give this video a thumbs up if you find it helpful at the end. Without further ado, let's get into the first point. So we're going to start off with some of the bad news. This game is not multiplayer at release. We don't know necessarily if it will eventually come in the form that it will come. If it does, will it be similar to Elden Ring where you can summon a person or two to help you? Will it be full on open world? At this point, we just don't know, but all we do know is that this is not a multiplayer game. This is definitely a solo open world RPG experience, and I know that disappoints a lot of people, including myself. I would like nothing more than to share that experience, go to some classes, do some quests with some other wizard friends, some other people who I know are diehard fans of the Harry Potter world and series, and unfortunately, that just will not be the case. So before you purchase or before you play it, do not expect to be able to have a multiplayer experience. I'll also toss in here one more to just kind of round this out as well in terms of things that will be missing, that is Quidditch. So Quidditch is also not going to be part of the experience. You will be able to visit the Quidditch field, you'll be able to see teams practicing, you'll be able to fly around on a broom, but you cannot play the game of Quidditch. My expectation is that this will probably come in a later update or potentially even a big DLC that you have to pay for to try to get more people invested, to try to get people back into the game and things like that. So I think that this is something that will eventually come because I don't see why it wouldn't. I think it'd be a great addition, but at the time of release, it will not have Quidditch. Another thing to keep in mind when considering purchasing or playing the game is that it is not in the time frame where you're going to see Voldemort and Harry Potter and all that crew, right? This is back in the 1800s, so a lot of those people aren't born yet. They simply don't exist in the world, and so you shouldn't expect to see them. However, you will see some familiar faces and hear some familiar names. So for instance, you're going to have the ghosts all around Hogwarts, that some of them, well, they've been around for a long time, so they're still going to be there, Nearly Headless Nick being one of them, and we've seen that being shown throughout the clips. However, you will also hear those names, which is like, for instance, Professor Weasley, who we've already seen as a part of it. Now, it's not a Weasley you've seen before, but there is some lineage there. So we'll get a little bit of a call back to the future, but don't expect to see all the same characters and experience and get to interact with them. You can be good or evil, similar to games like Fable and some others. You can pick your path. You can kind of go down a darker route if you want to. I don't know why you would. Again, I'm a good guy. I'm always going to pick that stuff. I've never gone down the bad path in any game like Knights of the Republic or anything like that. However, I know some people want to for some reason. What's wrong with y'all? But you can do that. So when you're coming into it, you can follow your heart and go down whichever path you choose. However, you can't slaughter your fellow students. Okay, so there's already been footage. People have tried to test that and just go out into the courtyard and start firing spells at their classmates, and it just doesn't hit them. It just doesn't have any impact. So yes, you can make some evil choices, if you will. You can be a dark wizard, but you can't slaughter your fellow students. Again, why do you want to do that? Moving on, there is a lot of content in this game. There's 150 quests reported by the developers, with about 100 of them being side quests, meaning that there's just a lot of things to do outside of the main storyline. There's also all the achievements. There are going to be things like mini games, which we've already showcased at least one of them, and so much more in terms of exploration. So tons of content in the game. You don't have to worry about not having enough to do. And the last thing to mention here is going to be traveling. You're going to have Floo Powder, which are going to be places throughout the map that are kind of like callback shrines, ways to fast travel around, as well as, of course, your broom or other flying mounts. We've seen hippogriffs, brooms, so on and so forth. And then, of course, you can swim in this game. Now, it's been shown that you can't necessarily dive underwater unless that's something they just haven't revealed yet, but you can swim in the water. So when you see these giant lakes, you will be able to actually go in and swim through them instead of just being an area that you can't access with your character. So there you have it. There are 5 things that I think you should know before you start playing or purchase Hogwarts Legacy. If this video was helpful, make sure you give it a thumbs up. If you enjoyed this type of content, please consider subscribing to the channel. And I hope you'll swing by my stream, twitch.tv/heartbreaker_TV on February 7th, where I will start playing the game in its entirety. Thank you all for watching, and as always, good luck in your adventures.